have these hair extensions that I've dyed and removed the dye several times, and there's a bit of staining on one part. This is actually stained by Riot by Good Dye Young. But I'm trying to figure out how I can color this the same color as my hair, with the problems being, first of all, there's staining. Second of all, I no longer have this dye. I ran out. And I've been swatching. I have Ritual by Arctic Fox, which is kind of a berry shade. And then I also have Wrath, which is a pink-based red. So this is the swatch of Wrath, and then this is the swatch of Ritual. But I mixed them together, and it's a very close match. Here are my extensions. I have a bowl, plastic of course. I have my brush. I'm thinking of getting my mixer, but I might not even need it. And then of course, as mentioned, Wrath and Ritual. And I'm gonna just eyeball it to make the same mix as this that I've created earlier. This is actually a cape for the hair. I'm not a huge fan of the smell of Arctic Fox. It's a very grapey kind of scent. Like, I thought I would like it, like whenever my friends would describe it, oh, it smells like grape juice. And I'm like, oh, that's gonna be really cool. And then I smelled it and I'm just not into it. And like, if I screw this up, I could always get rid of the dye again. It's just, it's gonna take its toll on the extensions, so. Whenever working with extensions and wigs, always brush them out. It helps distribute dye evenly and just helps with the process in general. All right. This is the before. This is a very bright level 10, stained. The initial coat. Of course, there's still a lot of areas that I haven't fully reached. And honestly, this whole imperfection thing, I think, adds to the character of the hair. Dyeing these bangs extensions is a little more tricky than it looks, because unlike with your real hair, you just kind of like get in there. Here you really have to get into the different sections, because if you don't, missing these parts is very obvious. It's a great way to practice dyeing hair, by the way. So I've used these bangs extensions maybe 4 times already under different colors. It's the first time I tried doing a purple shampoo toning bath, and then I dyed it pink, and then I also dyed it blue and orange, like split dye. And I had other plans for it, I just got kind of lazy. I don't know if you could, yeah, you can kind of see it on screen, like some parts are darker, some parts are lighter, which I'm kind of going for. So I hope that when I rinse this out, it's as good as it is in my head. Because like sometimes you have an idea and then the execution is kind of subpar. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed that this actually works. Because if I pull this off, I am going to definitely use this while my hair is red. Like, I'm gonna get mileage out of these extensions, even more than I already have. You can see the parts that I've dyed more have gone through most of the blonde, unlike on this side where parts of it are still blonde. Like if you go through the hair, there's definitely still a lot of sections I still need to dye. Looking very bloody red. I think I've gotten through all the blonde. Maybe, I don't know. I'm still checking. Yeah, I think I have. That looks good. What it looks like right now. And I'm gonna go rinse it with cold water. I'll be real, it came out darker than I expected it to be, like a lot darker. Cause like, I wanna turn the light on. The swatches, it was very close to what this color was before it started fading. But it was a lot more wine than bright red. So I'm trying to figure out if I'm still gonna fix it or if I'm just gonna match my hair to it. It's a really nice color though, like don't get me wrong, I friggin' love it. It's just darker than I thought it would be. I am letting it dry. I'll give it a couple of hours. We'll see what it looks like when it's dried out, because hair does look a little darker when it's wet, but I'm not really getting my hopes up. Okay, so these are the bangs. They are not a perfect match, but pretty darn close. I think the Ritual dye made it a little more of a berry shade than a wine shade, but I don't hate it, and I feel like it kind of blends into the dark red that I was trying to match anyway. the actual color of my hair has already faded since I dyed the bangs extensions, and I can take these off to just show you. If you're wondering where I got the bangs and the extensions, they are both from I&H. The bangs are called Zooey. I got this in the shade light blonde, and the ponytail is called Miya. And let me just unravel it a little bit. Ooh, my ponytail is coming loose. Yeah, so, ooh, this is the ponytail in shade Ruby, and this is my real hair. It is kind of an ombre effect. I am going to show you the back of my hair and like the sides of my hair to kind of see how it blends together. Yeah. So yeah, like even on its own, it's kind of an ombre look. I might attempt to dye my actual hair to match this as well, but I feel like it's gonna be yet another disaster. Well, not a disaster, it's not that terrible, it's just not a perfect match. But all in all, all in all, I feel like it becomes a kind of wine ombre. So yeah, I'm gonna keep it in this shade. This is like the probably the 4th or 5th color that I've dyed it. So it's lived a long life. It is starting to get pretty dry. I did spray a little bit of the Way leave-in conditioner to make it softer and like protect it from heat styling, because I did use a flat iron to help smooth this out, because like in the box it kind of starts to wave unnaturally. But yeah, I think it looks pretty good, and I love this berry shade that it turned out to be. In the sink where I was washing these bangs, I was expecting more of this shade, which is what it is now. But initially it was almost black, that I was so worried. And I think I washed this maybe 4 times with an anti-dandruff shampoo bath. Basically you fill the sink with water and then a couple of drops of anti-dandruff shampoo and just let it kind of bubble and soak. And it's kind of like doing laundry, actually. Yeah, and it faded the hair enough to have this current color. And the cool thing about it is I don't have to wash it anymore unless it gets like really gunky. So to take off these bangs, I take off the ponytail, and then there are 3 clips, 1 at the top and then 2 at the sides. Pop them. And ta-da! So this is what they look like. It's a very cool blend. It looks like it has highlights and lowlights, but I think it's just like a happy accident that happened. So it looks like it has dimension, and I love that happened. I don't know exactly how that came into effect, but I think it's mixing 2 shades and maybe not entirely mixing it, that pigments may be separated as I'm applying it, or maybe because the base is a little uneven in some parts, which is pretty cool because I remember, I think it was this side that was a little more on the orange, while this one was very pale. So the fact that it looks sort of even with a lot of depth and dimension is a pretty cool result. Again, this is the Zooey bangs, originally in the shade light blonde. and I've been dyeing and coloring and toning this for like 2 years now, I think. So yeah, it's a pretty good investment. I may get a new set of things, but overall this clip-in has served me well, and I just love how I can change up my look. Like even with 3 different hair colors, it still works.